To CBS This Morning, the mayor of Lexington, Kentucky, is moving quickly to relocate two Confederate monuments from outside a historic former courthouse. Mayor Jim Gray said the weekend's deadly violence in Charlottesville led him to announce his plans Saturday. Lexington is one of many cities like Charlottesville debating the meaning of these Confederate symbols. Michelle Miller is in Lexington and looks at the strong emotions they generate. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. This is a statue of John C. Breckinridge, a former U.S. vice president and the last Confederate Secretary of War. Now, the mayor wants to remove this statue and another like it, relocated to a nearby park honoring veterans. He knows it's a move that could spark another fiery public debate over what these monuments represent. The violent clash in Charlottesville, Virginia is the latest in a series of tense demonstrations over plans to remove Confederate monuments. From New Orleans to San Antonio, communities across the South are taking a critical look at these symbols and in some cases are removing them. Lexington, Kentucky Mayor Jim Gray.
Why are mayors across the country bringing these statues down now?
Mayors are on the razor's edge. When you see the tension, when you see the violence that we saw in Charlottesville, then you know that we must act.
The Lexington monuments were built near the historic site of one of the country's largest slave auction blocks.
I don't think it's right that we would honor and glorify Confederate men who fought to preserve slavery and honor them on the very grounds that slaves were once sold at auction.
But he's likely to face strong opposition after the city of Charlottesville approved the removal of the statue of Robert E. Lee earlier this year. It was targeted by the Ku Klux Klan and white nationalists. In New Orleans, city leaders faced 2 years of court battles and a handful of violent protests over their plan to remove 4 Confederate landmarks. The Southern Poverty Law Center has found 1,500 symbols or places that pay homage to Confederate leaders and says there have been at least 100 state and local attempts to remove the monuments or provide more historical context. Some who want the monuments to stay say removing them is erasing an important part of the country's past and see them as landmarks throughout the South.
I think I'll just leave them alone and leave them where they are, you know. They're part of history.
When we place those along the Veterans War Memorial Walk, then that story can be told to young people. Hiding that story, erasing that story, that doesn't teach us, but telling the story does.
Keep in mind that Kentucky citizens fought on both sides of the Civil War, which is why the mayor wants Breckinridge statue to stand nearby his Union counterparts. And this is not a done deal yet. The mayor needs the approval of the City Council and the Kentucky Military Heritage Commission. Jeff?
Michelle Miller, thank you.